So, ladies and gentlemen, why doesn't he stop the trouble? He will one day, but he's holding back. And the reason he's holding back is because if he comes, you're in trouble. When Jesus comes to judge the living and the dead, you've got no chance. You face a holy God, and you've got to account for every breath of your life. Every day you've lived, everything you've done in secret suddenly becomes public. How do you fare then? How do I fare? Well, I'll tell you how I fare, guilty. That's how I fare, guilty as charged. And religion can't save you. Muhammad is dead. Buddha is dead. It's only Jesus who's beaten the grave. That's why I wouldn't have religion. But Jesus is a friend, and he can change people. And folks, if you ever ask the question, why doesn't God stop the trouble? Look, he says this, you shall not murder. And if people would read and behave like that, no murder, you wouldn't have the local pain, would you? And if people love their enemies, Iran won't be shelling bombs on the Middle East, and the vice versa, because they'd love their enemies. But ladies and gentlemen, if Jesus comes, would you like him to do a thorough job or just a partial job? If he does a partial job, that's totally unfair to the ones he sorts out. But if he does a thorough job, I'm in trouble. Now, when you ask Jesus to forgive you, he gives you a new heart. He gives you a new start. He can change your life. He can give you hope. He can give you peace. And it's free. Ladies and gentlemen, the gift of God is eternal life. I'm going to stop there. Thank you for stopping and listening. Have a lovely afternoon. If there's any people who are atheistic out there, come and ask me a hard question. I'll ask you a hard question, and you won't know the answer. Here's my question to somebody who says an atheist. Were you there when the world began? Answer, no. Next question. Was anybody there when the world began? Yes, Jesus. What went bang? What went bang? How can nothing go bang? That's nonsense. 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 How can nothing go bang? They said big bang. How can a bang be a bang if there's nothing there? That's a good question, isn't it? How can you have a big explosion if you've nothing to explode? And if you do have something to explode, where did it come from? Who put it there? It's a good question, isn't it? But ladies and gentlemen, people don't think in. They say, big bang. What went bang? Here's another good question for anybody who believes in a big bang. Ready? Give me one big bang that's produced beauty. Just one big bang that's produced beauty. One. And yet we've had millions of them. It doesn't work. If you get a big bang, you get a mess. But the world is beautifully ordered, ladies and gentlemen. And it's people like me who bodge it and needs a new heart. And if you're honest and you tell the truth, you will say that you need a new heart too. And Jesus gives a new heart. He gives it at the cross. And he tells people, don't murder. And if people wouldn't murder, you wouldn't have the mess that people get into. And if people love their enemies, you wouldn't have the mess that people get into. So if you want a world like John Lennon, imagine there's no heaven, you'll get a mess. How did John Lennon die? Answer, somebody shot him. So the fellow who didn't want any religion got shot, and the fellow is now in eternity singing his song, Imagine There's No Heaven, and the fellow killed him. But he didn't want, he wanted that because he didn't want God who said, don't murder. The man who killed John Lennon. Amazing. Thank you very much for stopping. Do ask a question. Have a lovely afternoon. God bless you.